Have you ever said this, or maybe heard someone say, well, that's just the way I'm wired? Are we really just a reflection of our brain's wiring, or is there hope for changing the negative pathways in our brains and turning them into positive ones? My name is Rachel Boucher, and this is Wellness with Rachel, and today I'm going to share with you briefly ways that you can rewire your brain by changing your thinking. I've been learning so much about the brain. I still have so much more to learn, but our brains are like giant circuit boards of neurotransmitters that are just firing out signals when we feel pain, when we experience happiness and excitement, and we have decision making. We have all these things that are constantly firing, and some of these pathways in our brain are well worn because of trauma or things that we've experienced in our life that have seared pathways into our brain. For example, maybe you didn't initially have a fear of dogs and something happened, maybe a dog menacingly growled at you or charged at you, and now this new negative pathway has been seared into your brain. Is there any hope to change that pathway? There is, but it does take time and effort, and today we're going to talk about that. So the brain has four main sections, and the frontal lobe is the section where we experience movement, we have decision making there, our personality characteristics are developed there. Interesting, this is where we recognize smells. So this is all where this is happening. It's the largest section of your brain is the frontal lobe. And this frontal lobe can be a powerful tool in rewiring our brain. So if you think about it, if this is where smell recognition takes place, just taking this for an example, have you ever smelled something and it literally took you back? For me, I can smell school supplies and immediately I'm taken back to the first grade with my little cardboard pencil box, and I'm taken there. This is where this pathway was seared into my brain at a young age, and connecting that smell with this time in my life. That's the frontal lobe. Okay, another powerful example is thinking about how you handle stress. So think about how you handle stress. Maybe you go to food for a distraction. Maybe you scroll social media for a distraction. All of these actions take place in the frontal lobe. There was a decision that was made. This is the decision-making part of your brain, and the decision was made, and then this new pathway was formed whenever you experience stress. So when you experience stress again, it's like your mind immediately goes to that well-worn pathway. There is hope. You can change it, and I'm going to share with you 4 simple ways that you can do this. This is so helpful, especially as we're thinking about replacing negative mindsets with a positive mindset. So these 4 stages or steps were created by Jeffrey Schwartz, and he did this in an effort to help people that were struggling with OCD. Okay, step 1 is to relabel. Recognize these negative sensations or negative and unhelpful thoughts that come into your mind. Recognize them and label them. Name them for what they are. Call them for what they are. If you are stressed, say, I am stressed right now. The second step is to reframe. And this means to take that perception that you're getting and to recognize that it's just something that your brain is telling you, that yes, you might feel stress, but is it a reality or is it something that you're defaulting to? So reframe the perception of your stress or whatever you're dealing with at the time. We really have so many deceptive brain messages that we replay over and over in our minds, and they are sabotaging us. And we don't even realize it, I think, sometimes because they're so well worn that we kind of default to those things. So this is so important, especially when you're battling negative thoughts with positive ones and using those and replacing them with positive ones. Okay, step 3 is to refocus. That means put your energy into something that's productive and helpful. Maybe it's not social media scrolling, maybe it's not food, maybe it's going for a walk, maybe it's something totally different to kind of get you out of that default. And then the 4th step is to revalue. This is where we take those deceptive messages and revalue them. We say, this is really a deceptive brain message that I've believed over time, and I am giving no value to it. It no longer has any more value because it is not true. So let's put all this together and apply these 4 steps to dealing with stress by going to social media instead of wrestling and dealing with our emotions, using it as a default. Okay, step 1 is relabel. Okay, you just state the fact. Okay, I'm having the urge to scroll social media mindlessly at this point. I'm having the urge to go pick up my phone and scroll social media. You label it. You just say what it is. In doing this, you're not allowing your brain just to go there. You're telling your brain what you're doing and what you're feeling like you need to do in that moment. The second one is to reframe. You tell yourself, okay, I'm wanting to scroll social media because it distracts me from dealing with my emotions. I just kind of check out. I don't have to think about my stress. I don't have to deal with my stress. The fact is, it's still there. So us reframing it and saying the truth about this action helps us be able to take the next couple steps. Also, remind yourself that you do not have to respond to everything your brain generates. You do not have to respond to those things. You have a choice in this situation. Step 3 is refocus. This is where we do that positive action. Go for a walk, put the phone down, read your Bible, pray, do what you need to do to get in a different space and a different place. Because in doing this, we are shaking up things and we are telling our brain, I don't have to do this. There's another way. Deal with those emotions, name them, say what's happening, say how you're feeling, say that you're angry, that you're stressed, that you're frustrated. State the truth about what you're feeling and sift through those emotions. And then the last one is revalue. Recognize that this is your brain operating off of a deceptive message, a lie that you must go to social media to decompress, or you must go to social media because you don't want to deal with your stress, your emotions, your feelings. This is important because if we don't do this, we are just increasing and strengthening that cycle. So when we break that cycle, it really helps us as we move forward. To be honest, the more you scroll, the more you're going to have the urge to scroll. It's just going to be a vicious cycle. And so we stop it in its tracks by revaluing it. So we give new value to it and do something productive instead of giving in to the deceptive brain messages. I'm not going to deny that this is hard, and sometimes it requires the help of a wellness coach. And as a wellness coach, I love helping people walk through these things and learning how to recognize the lies and how to combat the lies with truth and how to create those new pathways by changing our thinking. Your brain can be changed, and your mind is a powerful agent in that change. And that's why it's so important for us to recognize the lies that we are telling ourselves and that we are kind of the story that we are writing in our brain that's keeping us stuck. So when we change those pathways, when we create new pathways by using these 4 steps, we move forward. And it's a great way to combat those negative thoughts and replace them with positive thoughts. You can change your brain by using your mind.